My daughter, October 2000. I got married when I was 25 years old. When I turned 26, I got pregnant with my first child. 3 months into my pregnancy, I started having complications. So, we went to the ER, but the baby died in my womb. The nurse administered medication to help me go into labor, and when I pushed, the baby came out in the amniotic sac that looked like a little water balloon. When the nurse asked me if I wanted to see it, I responded yes, and she burst the sac so I could see the baby better. Because it was an embryo, it hadn't fully developed, so we never knew the sex of the child. Heartbroken, I cried uncontrollably for a few weeks while recovering from the loss. I prayed, Lord, I would like to know the sex of my child. I hoped that God would reveal the sex of my child. 5 years later, I dreamed of children of all nationalities playing in an area that looked like a playground. It was awesome to see hundreds and hundreds of beautiful children, each wearing their native clothing. There were children from India, Africa, Asia, and several other countries. I watched and laughed as they played. Then I noticed a black lady sitting on the grass with a child on her lap. Other women were sitting with children on their laps as well, waiting to show the next parent their child or children they had lost, who asked the same question that I did. God, was it a boy or a girl? Then a voice spoke to me. Look down. As I looked down at the child sitting on the lady's lap, the child's eyes fixed on mine. The child was a little girl. Her hair was a mess with stuff all over her head from playing. Suddenly, she gave me the biggest grin. Oh my gosh. She looks just like my son when he was little, I said to myself. She even had the same smile, only with girlish features. While looking at her, a voice spoke to me and said, "This is the answer to your question." He repeated the question I asked him many years ago. I woke up crying and thanking Jesus for letting me know the sex of the baby I lost. When I saw her, she looked to be around 5 or 6 years old. God is amazing. One time, I heard this minister speak about a friend of his who had a near-death experience. She went to a children's heaven and saw massive amounts of children, almost the same as I did. But she told the minister that the Lord has tree houses for them to live and play in, and they all live together. My heart was filled with joy because I now knew I was in the children's heaven. I believe when infants and children die, they go back to God. If you lost a little one, rest assured they are in heaven.